My name is Lanaya Villaverde, representing Puyallup High School. In my research, I learned that there are emerging new technologies addressing the housing crisis, including 3D printed housing, which serves as a more time, resource, and cost-efficient construction method. Is subsidizing 3D printed housing a plausible way to address the housing crisis as compared to current methods?
Great. What a great question, and especially coming from somebody who is probably more in tune with new technologies than I might be. But 3D printing housing is certainly something that's kind of on the horizon, still pretty much in its infancy. But one of the things I think we can do as the state is to get some of the regulations out of the way when it comes to these new ways of building housing. We've got a bill this year that's going to make it easier for off-site manufactured housing to be constructed. So this is something that's happening around the country, and it's going to be really easy to build housing quickly. They can build a house in something like 5 days in one of the factories and then ship it out. So 3D housing or 3D printing is going to be kind of in this space. So I think there's some work that we can do on that very question to make sure that we're setting up, safety regulations, of course, and make sure that these are quality, well done, but we need to make sure that we are adapting to new technologies. This is a start with this bill on off-site manufactured housing, but 3D printed housing, I think, is right on the heels of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year or two we have bills specifically dealing with that issue. I think it's a great question.
Well, thank you so much for that question. What an excellent question. There's so many new emerging technologies out there, 3D printing being one of those. I know that I'm very supportive of new technologies and working through new technologies. I think one of the challenges that we face here in Olympia is identifying what those new technologies are, like 3D printing, but also making sure that we budget accordingly for helping those things. I mean, we're not going to fully subsidize something, but I think as on my side of the aisle, I think we're looking at doing pilot projects, small scale stuff to help. But I don't think the government should be choosing or picking winners and losers and putting all this money into unproven technologies. I think 3D printing shows a lot of promise. I'm excited to see that. I think homes can be built massively cheaper. And I think from my perspective, innovation is really important. Making sure that we help entrepreneurs, help people try to do new things. A few years ago, I met with a contractor who was taking shipping containers and turning that into affordable housing, and so invited me out, showed me, and talked about all the promise with that. And then it seemed like a little bit over time, it kind of fizzled out a little bit. And shipping containers into housing are still a viable option, but I'm thankful we didn't pour a lot of money into that and put everything into it, because businesses, sometimes they make the right hiring decisions, sometimes they don't make the right hiring decisions, and so you want to be careful putting all your marbles into one basket. So I think 3D printing is a great option, and I look forward to seeing what we can do with rules and regulations and zoning to make sure our zoning laws can help with brand new technologies. Thank you for the question.